Ladies and gentlemen, I have waited quite a while to do this video to get my Xbox build to a place where I feel comfortable, and I think I've just hit it. I've had 3 guys, the only 3 guys who have this drive right now, actually all give me good feedback tonight, and I didn't go looking for it, they actually came to me. One of the guys though, I had a couple of edits for him to do, because I've done a couple of edits this side and I want it all to match. But I want to show you what 7 months I think I've done it for now of learning to build hard drives. I've never done it before. It's not something I've ever undertaken, and a lot of help from people like Rocky5, you know, guiding me through. Chris Grandin, he's really good with stuff as well, and James Reed from Team Resurgent. Them 3 guys mostly, I'd say probably not all, but mostly have been the guys that have helped me to get to grips with certain aspects of building a drive, etc. Now, we started off with TPXG4 just as something to, I mean, it all came from Tim Peck, and it was just something to sort of get a grip of, somewhere to start, a starting point, and I'll be forever grateful to Tim for letting me use his drive. And we sort of evolved it, and I want to show you where we've evolved it to. Now, if you ever watched the earlier video, you'll see, you know, essentially the raw first video, and well, it's just improved, and there's been a lot of work going into it. I will say, I think the most important part of building a drive on Cebios is possibly having a 64K cluster and a 256K cluster, because 256 works okay with Xbox games, but the MU and all those small files really don't like anything near it. They want to, so small files, small cluster, big files, big cluster. So if it's in the gig, 256 is fine. If it's in the meg or kilobytes, you want to be aiming for more. I'd say the 64. Now, I was having a talk with James Reed today, and he does a lot of the XBMC themes and things like that for Team Resurgent, and he was saying that he has no problem with 128 KB clusters, and it's all to do with when you go into BIOS, in Fat Explorer, and choose BIOS as an option. What it'll typically do is they give you a C drive size, an E drive size, and you can leave them alone. I mean, you can adjust the E, but we haven't in this build. But the F and the G, it wants to split evenly. The problem with that is E drive, that's for like, that needs DLC, game saves, stuff like that all there, and it's only about 4.5 gig. So you don't really want to be putting anything in E drive if you can help it. You want to be putting it on F and G. But if you put emulators in F and make it, say, 1.8 terabytes on a 4 terabyte hard drive, you're going to have problems. You're just going to have problems. So what we've done is we've slimmed down the F side and made G bigger. We've passed it over. I won't go into exact details of size, because obviously we did the work and I don't want it just copied, because that'd be too easy. But go along them lines is what I'm going to say. Right, let's take a look at the TPXG V1.51 build. I'm almost going for 1.52 here. I wanted to wait for the 70 homebrew games that I sent to Chris for artwork, but unfortunately it's taken him a little bit longer than I wanted, and I just felt it was a good time to make the video. So let's go boot this console up and we'll see like how it turns out. And we'll do a couple of little things as well. First of all, you might notice that we have added in the boot anims, so that's number 1. So they'll all have the boot anims in from now on. If you need them, if you've already got a drive and you want them added, you know, let me know and I'll whack it in the Google Drive. This is a community project, so we have a Google Drive. So if there are any small updates, anything that it's not like back to base, send us your drive back type thing, This is one of those send your drive back type moments, but obviously boot anims is a very small thing. So right, let's grab a controller and we'll switch over so that I'm the little guy. Right, first of all, you've just watched not only the Xbox sort of boot anim, but you've just watched the Marvel one. Now, I can understand that it does add boot time. If you want to turn it off, it's not too hard. Black button, you can go in settings and you can go into XBMC4 options, startup options, and your video enable, disable is right there. Another place that we've changed things from previous builds is we do have an audio playlist. So you will, a lot of people who've bought previously will have a playlist running. The ones before that won't have it running. Again, that is all done under the enable playlist section, just above the enable intro section. So, you know, as you please. There are a couple of things. One thing to note with this particular build is we have added in DLC for Halo 2. Very popular on Insignia, as you can imagine. So, again, under here, if you go to scripts, I'm not too sure if it's in this section you can find it. No. So, you'd have to, I think, for this one, go in scripts menu, XBMC for Gamers Extras, and there is offline DLC signer. Now any DLC you download from downloader itself in XBMC, it will auto sign it as like a little bat file or whatever that runs, and it'll just do it for you. Right, anything you download yourself. Now anyone who turns around and says, oh, all our hard drives have got all the DLC, etc. Well, they might have, but none of them will be signed to you or to your Xbox. You take a drive out of one Xbox, put it in another one, it's a different serial number, it's not signed anymore. Right, the only way to do it is to go in offline DLC signer in XBMC. There may be other programs available. It's the only one I know of because I'm 7 months in, so, you know. Anyway, that is that one done. But let's go into the build itself. So we just at a quick look, we're looking at Xbox, PAL and NTSC, Japan, Shihiro games, which are just for your 128 meg, just as it says, it's all on the tin. Prototype Xbox games, homebrew games, emulators, dash, arcade, and apps. Right, very familiar, a lot of it. A couple of obviously extra sections, but we're just going to go into this. Now, one thing I will say is that this used to take a lot longer to load. PAL NTSC section is very, very big. I was talking to Rocky 5 today. He said that on an SSD, 11 seconds is about the fastest he's got it to boot it. I've timed this on multiple consoles and on multiple drives. They are all the same brand drives, but just to check it out. 11.8 seconds. It's 0.8 seconds behind SSD, which is not bad. Now, a few places we've had issues in the past is Synopsys. We have switched completely to the offline version because it's just more detailed. Everything's offline, so you can go in sort of a lot of games if they've got previews and things like that. Oh, actually I've booted it up. Great. Would do that on the video. I'll cut this. Okay, so one of the issues we had originally was we didn't have the offline artwork installer, and it was skipping a lot of stuff. So you wasn't seeing screens like this. We've also added in preview videos if they have them. Not all do. But it'll show you, you know, the type of gameplay that you can expect, things like that. So I've been through all of these sections on every game. So yeah, as you can imagine, There are a lot of games. Right, I'm going to press down and we're just going to do page by page. Doesn't matter which game you go on, you can press obviously that and it'll just show you. So this is obviously the full CCI collection, including the boring stuff like the football. I think you get the gist. So Halo 2, everything's up for the DNS side is actually set up in the hard drive. So if you do have any problems, you can just put the DNS in manual mode. But I've found that when you reboot, it puts it back to DHCP, and it still lets you go on to Insignia, no problem. I only have one drive set up for myself, but I tested it today and it seems to work no problem at all. So as long as those DNS are in there, somehow it knows. They are obviously in the Xbox Live dash, and I've also got them set up in XBMC as well. So whilst there's no sort of fancy stuff, this is quite generic stuff. But I mean, you can sort of jump on anything. Let's just randomly stop, and you know, you've got all the gear there. There's no screen, there's no preview on that one, so it's a screenshot instead. But you might find another one has. Nope, that's not. Ghost Recon maybe? Yeah, there we go. That's got a preview. So yeah, so that's why we switched to the offline editor. It's just better than the online one. We still found we had to add some custom paths in. But yeah, apart from that, and we've also added in the 128 meg fan art. So there's that there as well. But all that type of stuff just really isn't available in the online one. In fact, ours wouldn't actually update the games because we had one game that it saw as a bug, which I actually did report, and it got fixed, but it was there for the whole 7 months because we couldn't update anything because of it. It was weird. So yeah, there's that. But there we go, there's Xbox, and then thankfully moving on to the smaller ones, you know, stuff like Payment Vector. Yeah, we've got the synopsis in. I think currently there's only 3 copies of this actually been distributed, and I think currently just these 3 obviously, plus whatever's in my room. I found that on Dash there are a couple of synopsis missing, which I haven't sorted yet, but StarCraft Ghost, a new recently added one there in the prototype section. Homebrew, we've gone from I think 23 to 50 here. Now I've already delayed this video. We've got a couple of the Quake different ports there. They were fun to add in, let me tell you. We are adding another 70 games now. You might get guys who go, right, I've got more homebrew than you, but we actually do the artwork and stuff. It's not just for me, or it's not my console, it's everybody's console. So everything has to look like this. If it doesn't look like this, it just doesn't make it in. Simple. And we've got the EWJ, Earthworm James 212 Nintendo 64 emulator. 64, profoundly one of the worst games to try to emulate. Works really well. It does because it's on a decent cluster size. So we've got these Cyanide packs and standalone packs, PlayStation 1 packs as well. and then we come to XBMC Energy Station. Some of the stuff in there, I think Chris at the moment is going through them. Started on, I think, Atari or something. He's actually working on every single actual ROM in that pack, because some are broke, and we're starting to see quite a lot of it. Game Boy stuff and your SNES. So, I will do an in-depth, or slightly more in-depth PS1 N64 as we go. Dash, Evolution X, Microsoft Dashboard, which it would be where I would click this and do the insignia login from there, but you can also do it from Halo 2, you know, from the game. Click that you want to go live and it'll take you through the same process. It'll actually just sort of bypass a couple of bits, but it's easier really to go in Microsoft Dashboard there. That's the XO Dash, the Microsoft Live Dash. And if you ever need to mess about with any files or want to move them around, you can go in one of these two. Once you jump in those, it will release XBMC. You could delete XBMC at that point, but you couldn't do it if you're in XBMC. So yeah, these are the learning curves, guys. These are the learning curves. Again, Van LeBurn Legends, Killer Instinct has had an update. We've kicked that to a brand new one that works really well actually. Killer Instinct, I think it's called 1.3xxx or something. And of course, Premium Ninja Massive, I think is CoinOps 5 for Xbox, but I'm not 100%. And then in apps, we haven't added all the apps because we just don't see the point. Taking up space, it might be something that you just don't use. Enigma is one of my favourites. It kicks games from PAL to NTSC, gives you that 720p. Insignia, just for registering your console. Personally, I do that before you ever see it, but it's there. Xbox artwork installer, and hopefully you'd never ever touch that one. Not too sure why I have it in there, but it's in there. Okay, right, I'm gonna go nip back to MU. I don't know why I didn't just go right click, but I want to show you, for example, the 64 emulator. I just put this amazing skin on this today. It is really, really nice. So I just want to show you this one. Look at that. Now, when I got this, default it comes like about a quarter of the screen, you know, so it'd be like that sized of the screen, and sorted that one out. Thank you very much, James Reed, for saying, oh yeah, if you press X, there's skins. So you have got some skin settings in this. You can go, if you press A on launcher settings, you come down to the bottom here, you can cycle X or A through the skins and then just apply it at the bottom there. Yeah. You can also shut the bloody volume up by pressing RS on the thumbstick. That's another one. Yeah. Or change the music by pressing LS like that. Yeah. So that's that one. Right. Let's just quit Surreal. Do you know, there's a way actually to get out of that without rebooting. I swear to God there is. Oh, there's a way to get out of a game actually without rebooting. You know, like your Xbox games, you have to sort of just both triggers back and black. Well, in the emulators, you don't have to do that. I noticed earlier on, there is actually a section in the menu that takes you back to the main menu. Kind of cool. Takes you back to the dashboard version of emulators. Sorry, the N64 menu. You can be playing a game and just, like I was in GoldenEye basically earlier on today. I paused the menu and I went to, there was a setting in there and it said quick to menu, and I went and it takes you back to the actual menu in the N64 section. And I was like, but they can do that with N64, why can't they bleed and do it in all the sections? And And if you do, by the way, know of a way to be in an Xbox game and be able to get back out of it, let me know, because I'd love to know that one. But just back to the emulators, we're just going to pull up PS1. Have a look at this one. 2 sections we really wanted to get sort of nailed these, and I've had a tester with him for days, and he just had no problem. Right, let's just pick a game. There are quite a lot, needless to say. One of them moments where you need someone to shout a game out at you. Let's just do Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I was never massive on PS2. I mean, I know it's got one of the best libraries, but did he ever get a chance to play them? No. I got a 360, so it was never great for me. But it doesn't have. It looks like a PS1, doesn't it? Remember when Gran Turismo would come up with that sort of logo? Like, I think it was a Sony one though. But I mean, the same resolutions there. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what I am streaming on, you know, has he got like HD Plus? This is on a Kaico. Yeah, it's on a Kaico. So it's just an external Kaico, you know. Nothing marvellous. But yeah, on a 4K, a Kaico looks pretty good. Now that writing's a bit shit, innit? What's that say? It's like your destiny. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Whatever. Did something, didn't it? You'd have to learn this stuff. That's MU for you. Right, that's jump. Skate. Shield. Okay. Did we go? I have no clue. Oh, there we go. You can jump through the blocks, yay! Oh, that's just going to be annoying, that, isn't it? Oh shit. The fuck is that? I don't think I've ever played this one before. You know, if this was this easy, I would do it to our dog and not have to take it out for a walk. Level up. And there you go. And what I will say is, I refurb all my consoles. I supply only, and it's not one of them, but only WD Purple, the 4TB ones. And I put a year's warranty on them, on the pair of them. Where else can you get like a hard drive off someone like that, where you get a year's support, warranty, back to base, rewrite, all that stuff? I do all of that. Motherboard fails, I'll fix it or replace it for a year. I'm basically like CEX, only they've got to 5 years, because if we're getting scared that I'd just take all the business off them. There you go. But that is the TPXG V1.51, TPXG4 1 point. And I am going to make a soft mod version of it very soon, like a null 2 terabyte, and that's what that one's for actually, because that's actually a 2 terabyte. So yeah, that's what I'm making that one. So let me know what you think. I mean, you've seen N64 play. Yeah, I didn't pre-select games or anything like that. PS1 and N64 play all day long, and then you've got full CCI collection, you've got prototypes, and then you've got homebrew, which will just grow because there's 70 more coming very soon, all with same artwork, etc., all done. And yeah, it's just 7 months I've been doing this, and look how far we've come. It's amazing, really. Right guys, take it easy, and I'll see you on the circuit soon. Bye bye.